Hey folks, Dave the Not So Evil Viking 13 here. I am back in Fallout 4 as General Dave, where I am safe inside of the secure walls of the rebuilt Sanctuary Hills. This is going to be most likely the last part of my Let's Build series here at Sanctuary Hills with you guys, because I've been putting in, I'd say, 20 to 25 hours a week for the last few weeks, putting the finishing touches on this settlement, and I don't want you guys to see too much. So today we're going to stay focused down here at the front gate, where I've got this floating concrete piece. What we're going to start out today's episode with is going to be the construction of a platform for Sanctuaries artillery piece. I am sticking with that traditional concrete-based artillery, the mortar piece at the castle, but I need a good platform for it here at Sanctuary because it's no longer Fortress Sanctuary, my original build. It's a living community once again, so the military presence is a bit toned down. Still though, it's at an important location on the map. I want to make sure that we do have those artillery pieces, at least one of them, here. Okay, looking at our floor pieces here, what I'm imagining is kind of a World War I style pillbox, guys, where they've got machine gun openings where they can just shoot over the top of the outer wall here at the front of the settlement, where most attacks are probably going to come from, past the shantytown. So I want them to have a good field of fire, well, basically through the shantytown. Let's actually scrap that one piece and go with a block piece for the corner. This is going to be the foundation, and that's about it for the pillbox. Everything else is going to be built on top of this, so it's going to be pretty high up. This may actually be too high for just the foundation, but I'll take a look here in a minute and see what we've got going on. There we go, snap. This will also be a nice direct way to support and protect our Capitol building, the Gray House right there. I think G2M has some concrete circle bits with windows. Yep, there we go. That is going to be quite imposing. So I'm thinking 3 of these wall sections before the next pillbox. I'm just going to go ahead and place these pieces while I'm in the category. Whew, that's 8 concrete a piece. Jeez. Let's go back to the official concrete category. Put one more wall down. Then that end cap piece. And then all of our circle pieces for the base. There we go. Then our top pieces will snap on top of that. Let's see, concrete wall with glass. Now we'll go for just the open window for firing out of. And then pillars all the way up. And we're going to have the artillery piece kind of on a protected section here in the back. Got a little bit of room to go, so I think we can do that. Let's put these rooftops in if they'll snap. Yes, they will. Okay. Now for the floors. We need those circular sections to seal up the walking area past all of these brick blocks. That does leave a small gap right there. Might seal that up with a pillar before we're done underneath. Nice. Oh wait, that's because that snapped out front. Uh-oh. We're off by 1 unit because of this pillar right here. And this should have snapped like that. That's what's going on. Snapping in this game can be a little bit too aggressive at times. It gets a little bit crazy if you're not watching it carefully. Move that pillar out of the way for a second and see if it'll... Nope. Turn surface snapping off. It might be colliding with something. It's making it not want to snap. There we go. So that's how that should have gone. So our pillbox wasn't quite lined up correctly. Yeah, I would say that's a pretty imposing pillbox right there. Even just from the front here at the start. Now this structure won't be anything too fancy. Its main purpose is, again, to defend the riverside and provide a good place for the artillery. So it's not going to be packed full of crazy amounts of like, I don't know, like barrack style stuff, you know, troop lodgings, common areas, armory, stuff like that. That stuff is taken care of elsewhere here at Sanctuary. This is just the defensive location. So let's keep those walls going. All the way back. Now, did I snap under or next to? Okay, it is next to. Getting paranoid here, guys. After having to shift everything over 1 unit. And we're stuck in the wall. Yeah, so snap up to there. And back to here. Try out these pieces. Don't want this to look too boxy on the back, so I might add a few designs for the artillery piece to give it some visual interest, so it's not just a perfect box. We don't want to have a completely boring looking pillbox next to the gray house and all the cool guard towers and stuff like that. Oh yeah, anybody trying to come through there is going to get massacred. So where do we go from here? Move our power lines slightly there. I actually don't like that continuation of the wall. I want the artillery piece to be contained. Kind of an inset on the rooftop area. Just trying to figure out how I want to do that. I feel like I have mismeasured something. Let's go into free cam and take a look. That looks good. That looks good. Can you guys see it? This freaking pillar again threw the entire thing off. Alright, I'm going to fast forward time while I fix this. And we're back. Let me go into free cam here so you guys can see how I've corrected the shape and gotten it to where I want. We've got the two turrets that face out towards the wall, then a neat looking angled section to support our artillery. Let's see. We're going to want some kind of half wall here, however, to keep fire from hitting the artillery directly. That's pretty good right there because that still lets you fire over it. Will that snap here? Not well. Not too worried about fire from the sides or the rear of the fort, so just railings might be enough. Well, that has a good snap point though. Oh, right there, okay. That opening right there, I'm trying to figure out, should I glitch some of these pieces down in there as a half wall? And that opening is just a little bit too big, so I'm going to do that by moving things over just one unit with place everywhere. I can make sure that I don't have the texture flickering. Whoop. Where two objects are snapped at the exact same place and just flicker back and forth. It's called Z fighting, because they share the same Z-axis. Even with place everywhere, you kind of have to know how the system goes back and forth. So yes, all snapped there. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. At that point, I was trying to sink them just too far in to actually hit those snap points. So that leaves a railing piece that's going to go here. Make sure it's actually centered there. And a railing piece that's gonna go here. Again, let's go ahead and center that. Perhaps a curved railing section for this one. Kind of looks cool. As long as it's not sticking through, which it's not. It is kind of low though for a railing. That's about the same effect. That just leaves back here where the artillery is going to go. And these won't even snap to that wall. That's interesting. Oh, these will though. Very interesting. Let's go ahead and place it and see how it looks up here. Already got one in storage. Look at that. Plenty of room for slinging shells at whoever might be trying to attack this rebuilt suburbia here in the apocalypse. The game tried to freeze there, so let's go ahead and do a quick save. Nervously. I think we're okay now. And let's go back to concrete structures. I will put up some more railings for up top here. But I don't think I'm going to put any canopies or stuff like that, except perhaps on the corners. I want the artillery to have plenty of room to fire. And there won't be any kind of shell storage or anything like that on the roof. I'm going to keep the rooftop very simple, so those shell slingers have all the room that they need. But I will put a slight canopy, I think, on, there's the canopies right there, on both of our turrets. Put them at roughly a 45-degree angle. And how can we support those? Oh, these actually come with supports, that's nice. I don't think these have flag poles to go with them. Flag poles, support poles to go with them. Don't want to use those raider poles either. Or the flag poles. So instead I'm just going to use these just simple columns. Let's see if I put one there and just poke the front support like that. Bet you I can find where it lines up quite nicely. What am I getting stuck on? Trying to hop around here. That's quite close there. That'll give our soldiers just a little bit of shade if they're up in the top turret. Or if there's a heavy attack, they can just use the fortified windows down below. Defender's choice, if you will. Gotta get that lined up just right. And there we have it. Nice, clean sight lines. Anything else to go up here? No, I said we're going to keep it simple, but let's just put one cabinet that could have mechanical goods for working on the artillery piece itself. I think there's, under Homemaker, some interesting things as far as defenses go. Homemaker, structures. What is it under? Oh, just fences. Miscellaneous barriers. There is some cool stuff here, but I'm not sure how much is actually that useful. Have the gravel wall there, just in case we needed more defenses. There's already so much concrete, like these Jersey barricades are almost pointless. Put 2 down to cover anyone who might be coming up to get inside. Could possibly keep a direct rocket hit off the door too. Now these sandbags were something I was thinking about, because I'm looking at the possibility of doing something like this, guys. Now that's obviously not needed because of the concrete that's there. And I'm just realizing I completely forgot these were windows down here. But that actually might create a cool effect where it's just a really thin firing slot. How does it look up top is the question. I'll come back around to the sandbags. That's doable if we raise our floor curve platforms as well. Okay, yeah. So now we've created thin windows, kind of like what I did with the boot camp build back at Sunshine Tidings Co-op. I sunk the curved walls halfway in to close the windows up some. Yeah, what I was saying for the sandbags, come back to Homemaker in a second. If we get a table of some kind to put the sandbags on top, that'll give us a neat firing platform. If we have a good table for it. Not a fancy table, but still a strong table. Yeah, something like this. Just so that you can't see the bottom of that clipping through, I'll put the one back under there. And there we have a bit more of a defensive shield. But speaking of defensive shields, you guys know I couldn't have a gate like that without having is it? Boxcar. Blue. Door. Won't bother putting a rail system in place for this one. This will give us a blast door, if you will. Just like our primary security fence. Looks like we do have just the tiniest amount of Z fighting going on with that piece there, so I'll just fix it manually. And with the right bits of graffiti and posters, I think the fort could have quite a bit of character. For now, let's put in a few more support pillars down here. Seeing the artillery piece is right over top of this. And this will essentially be a panic room for my soldiers and government officials at the Grey House. If you guys were wondering what the interior was going to be for. Got some fantastic firing ports. Just need to put some good doors on it now. Thinking if we've got a metal door. Yeah, actually I kind of want from Homemaker. Oh yeah, let's look at barriers one last time before we leave it behind. Tires, yeah, that's fine. From Homemaker, as far as doors go, there's a concrete bunker door that is perfect right there. No, it's a bit dark. That is nice and secure. Okay guys, that's the basics of my defensive bunker. I'm going to leave the final detailing for on my own, so that you guys will have a few surprises in store for the final tour. For now though, I'm going to restart the game to get a bit of FPS back, and we're going to lay the framework for our dining hall before we call this episode complete. And we're back, and with the weather clearing up just a bit, you guys can get a better look at the initial stage of our defensive bunker. I might actually change up those concrete walls on the top just because that tiling repeating pattern is kind of distracting. Might be okay here on the sides, but I just don't like it there on the front. So, next up, this structure right here is the last house I have left to convert. This is going to be our dining hall. I feel like this counter already serves a good purpose for that. I also don't have to worry about patching up as many of the holes and whatnot because no one's actually living here. So in this central room, we're going to have the serving area and dining area. Then I think we're going to have a back room with some cooking utensils and some storage. First things first, I want to grab the large dining tables, the picnic-style vault ones. We're going to get those installed first. Those are the modded ones. Let's use the official Bethesda ones, if they're in here. Oh, they're not. Alright, modded ones it is. And we're going to want those serving trays as well. Serving counters. Oop, missed it. I want to see how much room we actually have for the food. Thinking a big old stew pot on that last one. What kind of line is that? Okay. Has a slight amount of ricketiness to it. I like that. Yeah, we're going to use the vault style tables. Premium window seating over here. Unless it's wintertime, in which case you're going to be freezing. Although I think for my immersion, I'm going to imagine that the glass has been repaired in those windows, but I'm just not going to do it for frame rate's sake. I've already built an entire town in this settlement, much more, and I am going to break the game. Yeah, I'll put our drink serving machines, I think, on the, what is that, diner counter right there? A random mat. That table's a bit big. So the purpose of this dining hall is to actually provide food for the entire settlement. That's why I've got so many things going in here. I want to go over to Homemaker because I'm trying to fit a lot of seating in here for the entire settlement to eat all at the same time. I think some of the Homemaker cabinets or counters might work a bit better. Do have this bar counter. I can add one over here. Some stools is what I'm thinking. That's a solid amount of seating for sure. And I'm thinking in this back room we've got an entire kitchen set up. This would have been the part of this facility that the Minutemen found in this house. This house had a kitchen in the back because reasons. And another piece like that. Now, of course, we're going to have a stove. Probably a couple of stoves. But also a wasteland style stove. So here's one of our traditional ones. Let's actually use a different color. As if someone had ripped the stove out for its parts, and when the Minutemen decided, hey, we could actually use this place, they had to find one and bring it back. Two more ovens and stoves on the back wall here, a matching set. And we have that one sink there. I think we're going to add an extra... let's do 2 dishwashing sinks, actually. This will be the dishwashing corner. In what used to be a closet, I think. So going out to our main menu, crafting. There's the outdoor cooking station. Here's the classic cooking stove. Put that in front of the window for easy venting. And we've got a pretty serious amount of cooking power now. That's definitely a good thing if this is supposed to be a living city. One more countertop there. I'm going to put some ice coolers, I think, in this room for long-term storage. Probably at least 2. But they're in the miscellaneous decorations category, which on my mod setup is full of just crap. So I'm going to leave that be for now. And instead we're going to go over to do-it-yourself. Post-war. Let's move this stove over just a bit. Get this big old storage shelf in. A shelf for some dishes. But what I was actually looking for was a fridge, which I'll have to glitch into where it actually goes, which is here. That should have a mismatched door, I think would be fun for it. There we go. Yeah, that's going to be a crowded kitchen, but I think that would be enough to support a settlement this big. This is one of our backup generators here. That'll probably just remain there, I think. Again, ice storage in here. Primary dining area in here. Let's add a little bit of clutter. Food and drink. I want some fresh vegetables and meat for the fridge. So that's the stuff that's like on hand, ready to go. And some food for up here. Love this mod. And also for the kitchen. What is that? Cleaning supplies? Let's not put that on top of all the food. Dishes for the dish cleaning area. And then some that need to be cleaned. Scoot that over like that. I like the lunch boxes. It's like they're packing up the lunches to take out to all the guards. That might be part of the lore for the settlement now, guys. And finally, some accessories for seasoning and whatnot. I'm going to put that over in this corner. Again, these aren't the final details. I do go through quite a bit on my own, but that is a good start for our kitchen area. I think before I call it quits for today's building with you guys, I'm just going to go back to Homemaker and see if I can find those glass caps for the serving trays there. They might not be in this category. In fact, I'm gonna say they're definitely not, because I think I know which category they're in. If I go to decorations, miscellaneous, interior, I bet you we're gonna find it. Glad I came through here, actually. I almost forgot about the dispensing machines. There it is. Sneeze guard. Hey, if we're gonna steal this stuff from a vault, might as well steal everything that goes with it, right? I can't make a straight line tonight, guys. I don't want it to be perfect, but that wasn't even close. Then a sneeze guard for over here, I think, for, let's say, this one. Oh, trash cans. That's right, you gotta have a trash can for the kitchen. Oh boy. Gonna have a few of these trash cans back here. And I think one for the dining area. So those have physics, huh? Haha, that's cool. And a vault water cooler right here up front. And I know that my Minutemen purified water poster is going to go right there, guys, for my water purification plant. Just think, in the apocalypse, to find a town like this, it's so well protected, you've got decent food, clean water, just right there. It's got to be a pretty wild thing to discover. So going back here just briefly. A little bit of storage. Here's our dispensers. We're dispensing the latest in post-apocalyptic Gatorade, I suppose. Probably not General Dave's whiskey. Not on tap like that. Add a coat rack to the corner. Manners first. And a clock is a must, so that you know when it's time to get back to work. Actually, I like that one even better. Got one fan in that corner. We'll do one fan over here. And definitely a fan for the kitchen. Decorations will mainly be on my own, but I'm already in the category, so let's put a bulletin board down for announcements. A bell for service. And guys, I'm gonna say that's going to be it for now. You can expect those small details in that final tour, which is coming quite soon, I think. And been trying to avoid giving you guys peeks out the window, but there's a lot of really awesome stuff here. I am very, very happy with how this build is coming together. It's going to be a pretty insane tour. It's definitely going to be a two-parter, and I can't wait for Joel to have to wander around and experience what's changed since 2015's version of Sanctuary Hills. For now, though, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and General Dave will see you all next time.